Hey YouTube, it's Weird Paul. It's time once again to take a look at all the cool stuff that was sent or given to me by subscribers, friends, and family. We'll start off by taking a look at what was in this box that was sent to me by subscriber Wax Headro. Some video games. I got RC Pro-Am Racing for the NES, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 for the Sega Genesis, and some Atari games, Amidar, Demon Attack, and Crystal Castles, and Lock and Chase still in the box with the instructions. I have so many memories of playing these games. He also sent this pack of 1994 Universal Monsters Pogs and Slammers, some rare 1985 stationery books featuring Fungus the Bogeyman, the character created by Raymond Briggs, plus a couple of posable California raisins made in 1988 by the company Applause. He also sent me a bunch of movies. A 1983 Italian racing documentary called Turbo Time in a big box. The early Roberto Benigni film, I'll just call it Pee Pee Caca Doo Doo, in a clamshell case. I haven't seen either of those. I haven't seen this movie, The Nightmare Never Ends, either, though I have seen films that used footage from it, like Satan's Supper and Night Train to Terror. And I got a French language version of Basket Case 2, all on VHS. He also sent the classic California environmental horror movie The Milpitas Monster on Beta. And I can't believe this, the beta release of The Residence Mole Show. I bought this on VHS in 1989, now after 25 years I have it on both formats. And the Blu-ray of Jim Van Bever's The Manson Family. I saw this back in 1999 when it was called Charlie's Family and it hadn't even been released yet. I remember it was about 2 a.m. in the morning when I finished watching it, and I had a pretty hard time getting to sleep. Also in the box were these Japanese erasers shaped like emergency vehicles, a couple vintage packs of crayons, and a 1968 Milton Bradley Chunko crayon, a rainbow of colors all in one crayon that retailed for 39 cents. My family actually had the 80s version of Chunko crayon, and here you can see it in some 1987 footage. It was called the Clowny Stick. I don't know what's more amazing, all the stuff he sent, or the fact that he managed to get it all in this little box. If you're ever in Orleans, Massachusetts, be sure to check out his used bookstore where he probably has lots of cool stuff just like this. Mark Labette, a friend that I went to high school with in the 80s, hooked me up with these rad records. The 1973 double record set Creedence Clearwater Revival Live in Europe. The 1977 LP of the $6 Million Man book and record. It's in the form of a comic book and it's on Peter Pan Records. Also on that same label, here's themes from sci-fi movies featuring The Empire Strikes Back. The artist who drew this took some liberties here. A Tauntaun? The Death Star? Darth Vader? I won a subscriber contest from the Batweb Gothic Reviews channel, and they sent me this Thundercats Sword of Omens. It's a great addition to my keychain collection. And this 1984 striped Gremlins figure from LJN. Gotta make sure he doesn't eat after midnight, right? Tyler Koger sent me some Koozies from his band Fair Day Techno Parade. It might appear that they are a black metal band, but it's actually cool experimental music. And James Mangan wrote me an awesome old school fan letter and threw in a Chromacast guitar pick and this McDonald's heart pin. It's the first and only McDonald's pin that I own. My friend Greg Sislon gifted me some matchbooks from restaurants, cigarettes, and shops. And my boss, Scott Fry, gave me these really old matchbooks, a bicentennial keychain that's also a tape measure, this Wendy's E.T. spaceship that I showed you back in my E.T. collection video, and a Garbage Pail Kids card, Turned on Terra. Ooh, how kinky. Leslie and Jay have been my friends and fans since the early 90s. Jay wrote the lyrics to the classic Weird Paul song, Greenpeace Stole Our Hubcaps. Recently, they sent me this gift, inspired by my song about Scott Baio, a Chachi doll. His face is just awful, the clothes are horrendous, and he looks like the Incredible Hulk's offspring. It's fantastic! The company made a whole series of Happy Days dolls, so beware. Virgie Whistler sent me a whole box of goodies. Let's check them out. Here's a musical chime goldfish baby toy. This was probably made by the company Combex in the 50s. An A&M Records promo photo of Billy Preston and the God Squad, a 1973 Wallace Berry and Company ashtray. It says, everyone has a special place in this company. Dude is in an outhouse reading a Sears catalog, and there's a rabbit with a clothespin on his nose. Here's the box from an Electrolyte Novelty cigarette lighter. Yep, that's how you do it. Wow, Mr. Potato Head Plus and his friend Pete the Pepper. What's in here? Ah, Cyber Tracker 2 starring Don the Dragon Wilson. This tape came from Hastings, a company that is currently going out of business. I also got a bacon magnet, a criminal profiling kit, an Alamo shot glass, some poly latex false face, a 1997 Wendy's Fries car, Jeepers Creepers and Spider Ooze, enough sock sorters for 24 pairs, and these 2 vintage Halloween cake toppers. When I was a kid, almost every cake was decorated with things like these. She also sent this 1987 John Waite 45 of These Times Are Hard for Lovers, Legalize Bingo, Keep Grandma Off the Street, some Oh No 4-0 wrapping paper, a 1982 can tab lifter, No More Broken Nails and No More Cut Fingers, these giant purple sunglasses, and some Blasfix. Bohren, Pumpen, Spulen. This is no toy. It's a cleaning device to empty Easter eggs in a swift and hygienic manner. And isn't that what we all need? And there's more. This CPR training device made by Simulades in 1993, the book The 1980s Countdown to Armageddon, kind of a faulty prediction, some Ripley's Believe It or Not playing cards, 4 1990 Topps Spitting Image trading cards, wow, a 1985 Murder, She Wrote board game, one of the few board games where you can play as the murderer, and this excellent original arty photograph, also looks delicious. My drummer, John Dowling, presented me with 3 albums by one of my favorite comedians, Rusty Warren. Songs for Sinners, More Knockers Up, and Sex Exponent. It's for adults only, it's not for airplay. Subscriber John Galantini sent me something I've never even seen before, comic books from East Germany. These issues of Mosaic from the mid-80s are in really nice shape. On the Ganges and the Secure Hideout feature people being attacked by dogs and by crocodiles. Now let's check out what I got from my dear old mom. The movie novelization of Ghostbusters 2, a Tetris card game, and a bunch of keychains, a sneaker, Larry the Cable Guy, Ken, Aloha from Hawaii, the Wright Brothers National Memorial in North Carolina, and this frog. Ah! Someone get him off! She also gave me a couple of E.T. items. A 1994 Happy Meal prize from McDonald's. This is one car from a set that formed a train. And these 1982 Presto Magics. Most of them wore off over time, but it's still awesome. Lastly, Mom had a whole load of VHS tapes, and she told me to pick whatever I wanted. I got Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke and Next Movie, License to Drive and Police Academy, The Fly and Enemy Mine, and Howard the Duck. When I was doing out-of-state concerts over the summer, I met up with a few people and got some stuff. Ryan Gelatin at Naked Ghost Video gave me a copy of his second VHS release, Augroff the Mad Mutilator, a crazy 1983 French horror movie. I did a show in Cincinnati with the band The Zavilles, and they gave me their CD Destroy All. It's great hardcore punk. In New York City, I got an album from the band Baby Shakes. It's kind of like a poppier female version of the Ramones. They gave me a shirt and a tote bag, and the lead singer Mary Blount gave me this book she did with Jeremy Thompson, Glam, Proto-Punk, and Bubblegum European Picture Sleeves. It's so hip. I also got a cassette from the band Annie and the Bombers, who opened for me. In Chicago, I got the tape Full Moon Hysteria by Gas Mask Horse. It's kind of spooky noises soundtrack, perfect for Halloween. Out in Shippensburg, Pennsylvania, I got a bunch of albums on the label Black Gladiator. It's great garage and or punk rock. And I got a couple of CDs by the experimental improv act The Clones. The Morgantown, West Virginia band Orville Rex gave me their album Rocket to Wonderland. They're a great live band too, and I also got a shirt, stickers, and pins. While I was down in Charleston, West Virginia, performing at the horror convention ShakaCon, Cucumber and Company gave me these awesome Creepy Classics King Kong playing cards, and this Terminator 3 promotional pin. I also received Antisocial and the Antidote's new album, Diesel. It sounds a lot like catchy Lookout Records era pop punk. Subscriber Richard Rash sent me some really old newspapers, now the oldest that I own. They are pretty fragile, but we'll take a quick look at them. The March 21st, 1936 edition of the Columbia Record. Housewives of today are envious of 1825 prices. That's when ducks were 50 cents for a dozen. February 27th, 1908 edition of The State. Aged woman killed by unknown vandals. It says her body was found in a clothes basket. That's gruesome. At Fairyland, you could see the frolics of the Ding Ding Imps. Incredibly, here's a paper from October of the year 1900, something called Comfort. Advertisements include hats,
pianos, a cure for cancer, a $2.90 high-grade guitar, watches, and heart tablets. If you have heart disease, you are in grave danger. You may die any minute, anywhere.
And last, but definitely not least, check out what subscriber Elon Jackson sent me. I got this cute gremlin. His name is Mohawk, of course. Some stickers, pins, metallic tattoos, coasters, a Subaru utility knife, some little toys and erasers. I can use this hand on that damn frog. Check it out, a balloon from the Mars Cheese Castle in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That's a cheese landmark, man. She also sent this rainbow wig. Alright, there's no way you're gonna let me finish this video without putting it on, right?
We love to use the telephone. We love to use the telephone. We love to use the telephone. We love to use the telephone.
But even with all that, the coolest thing that Elon sent is something that I've never owned before. A mid-80s Atari 2600 Junior.
The Atari 2600 Junior was first sold in 1986. It was a reduced-cost, smaller version of the 2600. Not only that, she also sent 2 vintage gem stick joysticks and 17 cartridges. Some of them are absolute classics. These are 2 of my favorite more obscure games, Alien and Turmoil. I could play these for hours. And I finally have my own copy of E.T.
Thanks to everyone out there that sent in or gave me this stuff. As always, I truly do appreciate it. Check out the links below in the description to all the music, websites, YouTube channels, and art that I talked about in this video. I hope that you enjoyed seeing all the new additions to my collections. If you did, don't forget to click on the like button down below. I'll see you soon with more memories. Thanks, YouTube.